are playing the apocalypse bingo and we're still in the middle of a pandemic, but literally nothing short of a zombie apocalypse will stop me from being sparkly. Hey friends, hi, my name is Mia and this is My Virtual Vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. If you want to see more makeup, head on over to my Instagram where I post more complex makeup looks, pretty flat lays, and dank memes in the stories. Today I kind of want to talk to you guys about my latest makeup favorites, and I would like you guys to leave in the comments down below what your favorites lately have been as well. So I've started going to the office 1-2 times a week because I do work in IP support department and the company has been hiring, so we do need to wrangle some hardware, deal with some stuff that you cannot do remotely. So I have started wearing makeup outside of the filming environment, which, you know, when you create for YouTube or for Instagram, you start to realize that you've got different preferences for those different settings. You've got different preferences for makeup under the ring light and differences for makeup where, you know, you're in the real world where there's sun, there's wind, you need to take care of longevity, there's heat or there's cold depending on the season. If you're interested about my favorites in captivity while we were quarantined and I was exclusively at home, I do have a video up on that. So let's start with the 3 non-makeup items. It's summer here in Romania. I am currently hating my life. I am the human equivalent of an overheated blob. For years and years and years since high school, my favorite summer perfume was the Davidoff Cool Water for Women. This is a very fresh, seawater, grassy kind of scent, a bit citrusy, very oceanic scent. It reminds me of being at the seaside, of the salt water, the reeds near the beach. Then when I spritz it, I kind of have to stop myself because I'm like, okay, I don't want to bathe in perfume. I don't want to make the nose hairs of everyone within a 1-mile radius around me just fall off. 2 other non-makeup items, and these are makeup brushes. I have been wearing so much powder. So much powder. Like, I'm ready to mummify myself in powder. I am becoming quite sweaty in my T-zone, which is a pain to deal with. I've got a sweat mustache that I've got to deal with. Actually, this reminds me, like, I've been really enjoying this Aesthetica P12 brush powder. I received this in a BoxyCharm when I was still misguided and I thought BoxyCharm was worth forwarding over from the US to Europe. Spoiler alert, it's really not. This and a few other items I think were worth the hassle. This is a really nice, it's not that densely packed, so it's a bit of an airier brush with pointed-ish feel to it. It's got precision in application. You don't get powder literally everywhere. You can just get it up here, up here, up here. What I like to do is just circle it and buff it in. Another brush, and this is a more recent acquisition. This is the Parsa highlighter brush. This is a really nice, densely packed brush, and I really like the shape because it gives you a very soft, extended highlighter application. This is how I applied my highlighter today, so I try to not make it a strip. I try to make it diffused, and I think this is an idiot-proof method of doing it because you're not using like a little fan brush or a little teeny tiny brush that's forcing you to apply. You just kind of go into the highlighter like this. Done. Speaking of highlighters, I've got 2 favorites, and one isn't technically a highlighter. This is the e.l.f. Natural Glow Lotion, and I've raved about this for quite some time. This can be worn underneath makeup, so you can look like a beautiful summer sparkly fairy on its own because it's not that glittery, so you kind of look just plump and dewy. Would not recommend if you have really oily skin because then you might just look like a dumpling. I look like a dumpling with this if I apply it in the T-zone and then I go outside and sweat. So I would suggest just applying it in the higher points of the face or where you need a bit more brightness. Another highlighter that I have loved is Nabla Ozone. I fucking hate Nabla. Every damn release, Every damn release I have to spend my money on them. Every damn release is a personal attack to me, my person, my aesthetics, my soft spot for everything Italian. I am sick of loving them so much. This is a very beautiful, very reflective, just glassy type of highlighter with a beautiful, beautiful formula. It's not the highlighter that I have on today, but it is stunning and I love this formula. I really do. If you have a darker skin tone, and maybe this might not be the color for you, but they do have darker tones, like more golden tones, more reddish tones of highlighters in their line, in the same line, so you might find something that actually suits you. Let's talk powder. I've got two favorites. 2 years ago I was so completely dry, my face would not produce oil, I wasn't really sweaty, I was completely safe from the US invading me for oil because there was none to be found. I was a natural resource desert. And then my mid-20s hit and I started realizing what people say, that when you start to age, your skin changes and you kind of have to adapt accordingly. I'm starting to be just a bit more oily in my T-zone, especially as we get into the summer months. Powder has become a much needed commodity in my life. For both setting my under eyes and for the T-zone, I've really been loving the Photo Ready Candid powder from Revlon, and this is in 001 Fair. This is very, very finely milled. It's just a sugar dusting of powder. As I said, I just grab my powder brush, just put it in the sifter, remove the excess, buff it in all of the areas that are needed. And I also like applying it with a damp beauty sponge underneath my eyes to set my concealer if needed. Another powder that I've been really loving is the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot powder. This is 100% a summer powder. I cannot use this in the winter without looking a bit cakey. But if you've got an oilier complexion than me naturally, you might love this all year round. It's my bag powder. I like that it's got like this smear, this little puff over here that I actually use, and whenever I feel that this area is just getting a bit too much, I kind of just discreetly go to the ladies' room and powder my nose and uphold the patriarchy by trying not to look like a sweaty Betty. Speaking of Revlon, I really liked their Candid concealer. I did not like this so much in the winter, but I always return to it come spring, summer, and then warmer weather. I do feel that it becomes just a little bit more emollient. My under eyes look better with it in hot weather. I don't know what kind of witchcraft it is. Let me know if you'd be interested in a video that would have the topic of makeup that only works in certain seasons, because I do think that would be fun. This is in 005 Fair. It has a bit of a neutral undertone. Romanian stores just brought the neutral and yellow undertones because fuck it, cool toned people don't exist. We're cryptids, we're local legends. We're not part of the population that buys makeup, absolutely not. Another under eye must have, and this is quite a bit expensive, this is the Becca Peach Under Eye Corrector, and this is in light medium. Look like I actually have had some sleep and I wasn't just a nocturnal raccoon trashing around the blankets thinking about painting ideas and story ideas and whatever mistakes I did 5 years ago. It's really emollient to the point of being a bit greasy, so you don't need to use that much. What I do is just I tap my finger in it, pick a bit up on the pad of my finger, so the heat from my digits just kind of start to melt it down, and then apply it and blend it with my fingers still, because as I said, I think the heat from the skin helps it blend better. I'm not going to lie, I've not been wearing a lot of foundation. I've been wearing the Clinique Even Better Glow when I need a bit more coverage, like before my period, where hormones, my skin, my uterus, my whole existence hates me. This is definitely like a summer foundation for me. The lightest shade, Alabaster, is just a wee tinge too dark for me in the winter, so I only use it come the summer months when I do get just a wee bit of sun. Very beautiful sheer coverage, can be built up, best applied with a damp sponge. I don't like how this applies with a brush, at least lately. I remember when I first got it, I liked it with a brush as well, but nowadays not so much. When I'm not wearing foundation, I spot conceal using the Wet n Wild stick foundation, and I've spoken about this also regarding Instagram looks, because I do just my eyes for Instagram when I want to take a picture of a look, and this is great for both foundation and to cover the redness on my forehead. But this is great for spot concealing as well. I just grab a little brush and start. It is a perfect match for my complexion. This is in Shell Ivory. Let's talk bronzer. In the winter, I love the Too Faced Sweetie Pie, but in the summer, I like the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. This is beautiful, blends beautifully, gives me a sun-kissed look without being orange, actually makes me look like a healthy human being and not like a little basement dweller that spends most of her days reading and gaming. I finally caved and got myself one of these stupid soap blushes that I love the aesthetic of to bits, and this is the Cover Effect Monochromatic Blush Duo in Soft Peach. You've got a more shimmery side and a matte side, and what I like to do is just rub my blush brush through them. This gives a perfectly natural, healthy, peachy flush to the skin. It's absolutely beautiful. It does tend to get a bit too pigmented, so I'm very light-handed with it, but it is an absolutely lovely shade, and when I'm feeling lazy, I also use it on the eyes with this in the crease, this on the lid. For lips, I have of course been wearing a mask because I do not have a death wish and I don't hate other people. Lipstick has been out of the question because lip gloss and lipstick on the inside of a mask is just gross, but I have been wearing lip pencils just so I can feel like a bad bitch underneath the mask. And I've been wearing the Neve Cosmetics Pastello lip pencils, and you've got the Pastello in Ballerina and Marmotta. Marmotta is a peachy tone that is quite close to my natural lip color, just a bit peachier, while Ballerina is a pink, cold pink tone, again quite close to my lips, just a wee bit lighter than my natural color. So both of them are very creamy and very blendable. So what I do, I just line the edges of my lips, line a bit inside, and then just kind of blend the edges out just so I feel like I actually have some lip situation going on. Last but not least, this is the Balea Peach Iced Tea Chapstick. This is all of the makings of a forbidden snack because it does smell and taste exactly like peach iced tea, like the most artificial kind. It's really nice because it does hydrate a moderate amount, so it's not a big hydrator. I probably would not be using this in the winter, but it does protect the lips. Good to wear under a mask as well because it's not particularly sticky or shiny or glossy. It's just a velvety veil of something over your lips. Okay guys, these have been my summer favorite. I've got a lot of ideas coming, critical content, makeup content. I just need to convince myself to subject myself to the heat of the ring light and not die. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I'll see you the next time. Please don't forget to have a wonderful morning, evening, third lunch, second breakfast, whatever it is you're from. Bye!